welcome back to my channel. This is Jasmine Lee. I am outside today giving you a new video, new spirituality video. This is my take on 2020. I believe 2020 is the Great Awakening. It is the year of clear vision. It is the year to destroy, to rebuild. So if you want to hear my take and my perspective on 2020, the year 2020, you want to keep listening. Okay, so let's get right into the video. I don't want to make this long, but I do want to give you my perspective on the year 2020, how it affects us as a collective, how it affects us spiritually as well. I want to give you a different perspective than what you've been hearing, maybe on social media or what have you. So first I want to look at why 2020 is significant to us numerology wise. So when you break down the year 2020, you get the number 4. And the number 4 is all about stability, foundations, security, and it normally refers to the home. That's where we feel most stable, in our home. So again, this year is really about setting the foundations for our future, setting the foundations and the base and the structure for how we want our future to play out. Now, 2020 has been so dramatic so far. It's because the foundations that are already here for us have to be destroyed. The foundations that are here for us were built on the backs of trauma from people, were built on stealing from people, and so America has a lot of restructuring to do before we can rebuild on something that's not stable at all. So this is what the year 2020 is about. Before we can even rebuild, we have to take down what's already here. Same way if you were going to rebuild on a land and you didn't like the house that was there, you have to tear it down, get new materials, and build it back up. So this is what we're doing in the year 2020. So with that, there is a lot of illusions and a lot of structures and paradigms that are going to come down, like I just said. So one of the things that we were introduced to this year was COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. Okay, so for me and my perspective, I believe that the coronavirus was an attack on the mental body of the people. Okay, I say that because when you look at the word corona, the base word you have is crown. And when you deal with the crown and you deal with the chakras, you're talking about the crown chakra. And what does the crown chakra do? It allows you to receive information, to put it quite simply. And with the COVID-19, we were bombarded by information. At least in my lifetime, I've never seen so much media coverage on a virus. Not only was the media covering it, your celebrities were covering it. It was on every business had to adjust. It was on every commercial. So again, the information overload was just gigantic. They wanted us to go with this script, okay? So there was a few of us that got in all this information, and it caused anxiety. It caused a lot of people to live in fear because they didn't want to die or anything from this virus. So now many people are living in fear because of the information coming in. Remember, crown chakra information. And so now we're dealing with people, again, who are living in fear. We create our reality from thoughts. So if your thoughts are all fear-based, what kind of reality do you think that you're creating? Okay, so those people, unfortunately, America likes to control using fear tactics. So again, if you are living in fear, unfortunately, you're more easily controlled. So this is what's happening to some of the population. The other half of it, they're taking in all the information like a sponge, and they're able to decipher and use discernment and see where the holes are, where the inconsistencies are, where the information does not add up, where the deception is. And those are the people that are seeing it for what it is. So again, this year is really about clear vision. It's really about shattering those illusions of what we thought was real, what we thought that the government cared. We thought that viruses come up this way or that way, but now we're able to see the truth behind the matter. All right, so Yes. Now, like I mentioned before, to me, the coronavirus was a attack on the mental body of the people because of the overload of information, the inconsistencies, and the deception of the information. Also, when you think about it, there's no mistake that our kids are not in school. What do they get in school? They get information. And so the innocent, thank God, are not really truly affected by this on a direct one-on-one level. They're put in the homes, they're put in their four walls. So now the parents can have a more direct conversation with their kids versus the teachers having a direct conversation with the kids. So this is an opportunity for us to look at the school system in particular and understand how that system has been so imbalanced and how that structure needs to be changed. And I'm actually very happy that the kids are not there, so that doesn't have to drag out throughout the year, and we can begin to fix that now. So that was huge as far as information goes with the coronavirus and why that affected us on a mental level, the mental body of the people. And then also, guys, with the mask that we are wearing or we're forced to wear, is almost like a symbolic message to the people saying, hey, I don't want you to say anything. Keep your mouth closed. Don't speak up. Stay away from other people. So in a way, yes, it kind of forced us to not say anything, but it also forced us to go within. It forced us to trust our intuition. It forced us to listen to that inner voice. With so much information coming in, it is so important to be tapped into yourself spiritually, so you can use discernment when there's so much information coming to you at one time. Remember, the coronavirus was used as an attack on the mental body, but because we are in the Great Awakening, we are in the time of clear vision, there was so many holes in that story that people are starting to see that for what it is. And on a spiritual level, the coronavirus affected us because now churches were not able to operate. So on a spiritual level, we do look at I look at religious sectors, they are based off of control. They're not always based on just spirituality. So those structures do have to be looked at. Those structures have for a long time been in balance as well. So all of those structures at one time was affected by this virus. And again, it's just looking at all the foundations we have laid in this country and reevaluating them. So to me, it was an awesome opportunity to reevaluate the school structure, the religious structure, and yourself mostly. And it gave us also an opportunity to take care of our bodies and to change the way we were operating. A lot of us were affected too because we were not going to work. Our jobs have been affected by it. So again, if you're looking at it from the crown chakra aspect, coronavirus, crown chakra, you'll see that those things related. So when you look at it, a lot of us, we take on identities, we take on roles based on our jobs. And a lot of us didn't even know who we were without those roles and those titles in our job. So it gave us another opportunity to look at these things and say, okay, well, who am I? I thought I was this, but actually those are just the roles and the titles that were given to you. These do not define you. So now, as a people, as a collective, all of us at one time, we're going through a lot of similar things. So energetically, yes, this affects us on a very dramatic level, which is what we're seeing today. And so the coronavirus, in my opinion, was the first time this year that the government or the elite, however you want to call them, try to implement their New World Order. And they understand that it's going to take steps. You can't just come out the blue and just say, hey, we're going to do this and you're going to follow. They have to build their case. So this is what they were trying to do with it. So with the corona, we were able to see what needs to be destroyed. What needs to be destroyed? What can we rebuild? And right now, the mental was the biggest thing that we needed to start to break down. So here we are with the emotional body. So now we are witnessing once again in history police brutality against the melanated person. Okay, we are seeing someone die on camera. That is traumatic for any human being, no matter which color you are. So emotionally, as a human race, we are being triggered emotionally. A lot of us have had that instilled in our DNA, a lot of trauma from different, no matter what your background is, there is trauma in many of our backgrounds. So seeing something like that again is extremely emotional and it triggers us. Now, one thing I do want to touch on there is that again, we're seeing everything for what it is. We have clear vision. So now with the internet and social media and the platforms that we have, we're able to see everything in real time. So again, we're looking at it with clear vision. So now when we look at George Floyd and we kind of like talk about him for a second, his last name means flood. And I want you to just hold on to that for a quick second, and I'm going to come back there. But before I come back there, you know, watching someone actually die on camera is another form of trauma I don't think anyone wants to witness, right? But when we heard him call out for his mother, to me on a spiritual level, it's calling out to all mothers. It's calling out to that motherly aspect, that divine feminine need. It's coming back, right? For a long time, the divine feminine has been taken advantage of. It has been imbalanced, especially in this country. And so now, because we are at a pivotal point in history where we are reaching a great awakening, there is balance that needs to take place. And so the divine feminine, the mother earth, everything that gives us life, everything that's nurturing, that we connect to mother, is coming to help usher in this new world. The ancestors that were a part of the traumatic experience of the black people in America, or black people everywhere that have experienced injustice, they're coming to help usher in this new world. And so remember, with George Floyd, his last name means flood, right? So everything that you see is significant. There's nothing by coincidence. So his last name means flood. What does a flood do? It washes away, it brings up to the surface old things that were buried deep. In America, we have deep rooted racism, deep rooted power issues. Okay, so these things, because we're in 2020 with clear vision, are coming to the surface. The flood is coming to destroy these old paradigms and these old way of thinking. We can no longer move into the future where we're mad at our brother or sister because his skin is brown and his skin is white. It makes no sense. So now you see what's happening on a global scale. People are waking up and they're saying enough is enough. We cannot move forward like this. There has to be a change. So you did not come here, you did not incarnate in this time by accident. You came here to witness 2020. You came here to help 2020 happen, whatever side you're on, no matter what. You're here to help destroy, rebuild, whatever. Whether you consider yourself a starseed, indigo, light worker, healer, whoever you are, you're here for a reason. Okay, so use your voice, spread the message, and remember in all of this to tap into your spirituality, tap into yourself, go within, trust the voice within. Throughout this year, we're only halfway through. So throughout this year, we're going to continue to experience the unraveling of the old system, the destruction of the old system. And we must be in the right space mentally and spiritually to rebuild. And so no matter what side you're on, no matter how you view this year, as a human being, we all feel this on an energetic level. We all see the major change that is happening in history. And I want to say congratulations. You are a part of history. You are witnessing the mass awakening in this world, not just your country, but the world. Wow. You know, we are all here. We are all here. We are all here. So I just want to share with you briefly what has happened so far and how it does relate to us spiritually. And also remember in all this to raise your vibration. Yes, there's so much going on, but you have to do something that makes you feel good, whether it's listening to music, painting, going out in nature is so important. Connecting with Mother Earth, connecting with your friends and family, showing everybody love, care. Those are the things that's going to raise your vibration when there's so much going on in the world. So I'm going to continue to put out more videos explaining my perspective on this year on spirituality, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's shed some light on what's going on, and I wish you the best, and until next time.